There we go.
All right. It's 7:04. We'll call to order the September 4th meeting of the Upper McKenzie Township Board of Supervisors. And usual, we'll start with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As we are wont to do, before we get started with the business of the meeting tonight, I want to take a moment. It's occurred to me on a personal level over the last 2 weeks, the number of people that I run into every day who are dealing with so much more in their personal lives that it's heavier than what we're dealing with in our business lives. And we've got some friends of ours up here on the board. We've got some friends of ours out here in the audience that deserve us taking a moment to keep them in our thoughts as they recover, as they deal, and as they fight. So I just want to take a minute to acknowledge those people with a moment of silence if we can, please. All right, thank you. With that, we can move forward. Additions or deletions to the agenda, I do not believe that we have any. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so we're on to number 2, the minutes and financials. I'll make a motion to dispense with the reading of the meeting minutes from August 7th, 2025, general business meeting, and adopt them as presented, and authorize the payment of the bills for the month of August to the amount of $5,158,679.17. Is there a second for that?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Jim. Any comment or concern? Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Oh, aye. All opposed? No, that passes. Sorry about that. Presentations, it does not look like we have any. We do not have any discussions and updates, nor do we have any ordinances tonight, which means we are flying through. We're at Section 7, resolutions. Resolution A, 2025-31, docket 1884, Hamilton Walk, 1409 Weilers Road, improvements agreement extension, Cal and/or Andrew and/or both.
I'll start off. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Hamilton Walk, officially known as Schaefer Run Commons, up on 1409 Weilers Road. The original resolution of adoption was back in, the first approval was in 2005. There were several resolutions which amended that, with the final one occurring in 2015. A land development improvements agreement was entered into by Four Star Real Estate Group on June 15th, 2020, and their timeline for constructing their improvements has expired. And they are pretty far along, actually very far along on their development. They have about 4 homes remaining. They have building permits for all of them out of the original 157 in Upper McKenzie Township. There is additional portion in Lower McKenzie as well. And then the site improvements are approaching substantial completion. And the request is for an extension to the construction time period through September 30th of 2026. And I'm not sure if anyone is present from Four Star or DR Horn.
Why don't you come on up, John? That way we can grill and intimidate you as much as we necessarily need to tonight. Good.
I can make the motion
Please
to
do. Yeah,
get
let's
it
do that.
started. I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2025-31, extending the time period for the construction improvements related to docket number 1884, Hamilton Walk, to September 30th, 2026.
I'll second that. Sonny will second that. Thank you, Sonny.
No.
All right. You think you're going to be done in a year and 26 days?
I do.
Okay.
DR Horton's doing quite well with their sales pace. Moving along pretty well. So I feel really confident.
Okay. And just to confirm what Cal said, we've got these 4 houses that remain. We've pulled permits on them already?
I believe so.
Yes.
I'm with Four Star, not DR Horton. So
Okay. But you're standing here, so that's the only person I can ask a question of. All right. So there's confidence that if we extend to September 30th, 2026, there's not going to be a further motion to extend past that, yeah?
That's right.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns, Sonny?
No, it's been going a while though. This has been aging, so it looks like you're going to get this done soon, then, huh?
Yeah, we're in the last
Yeah.
phases. They're in the final phase. And it's going quite well. their sales pace has done well, no matter what everybody else has done.
Okay, and this is far exceeds my time on the board, but just for my own curiosity, what was the cause of all the delays? Is there a short answer to this, or is that a pretty long drawn out one?
I've been with Four Star for about a year, so that's a great question. I think some during COVID, and then I think there's some, I think it just they kind of anticipated it was going to go quicker.
I mean, it started at 2005 is what I heard, so that precedes COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just
The
curious.
the plan was originally approved in 2005. The developer, or the applicant, was Jindal Land Company. They were trying to sell the project, so to speak. Throughout that time, there was a few times that it started to go with a buyer, and then it just stalled, and then a new buyer. So it was a lengthy time to find someone to undertake this project.
Okay, right, it was more of a commercial.
Once it
delay.
got started, I think it's
Okay,
been
I was just
Yeah,
curious.
continuous.
I wanted to make sure if there's.
That's
anything-
why I was a little confused because I think it went pretty quick since they've been in.
Okay, no, I'm just
Seriously.
I'm just looking at the 2005 date, wondering,
Well-
wow, that's been a long time. So I didn't know, when did you just started like a year ago?
He's not,
I've been with Four Star for a year.
So how long has Four Star been involved in this?
I believe since 2015, I think is when.
2015, so it's been a while, Jim, it's just that he's been here for a year.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other concerns, Jim?
Oh, no, 2020, sorry.
2020, all right, okay. All right, I was just curious because I understand if there was anything underlying that would cause a further delay.
You good?
I'm good.
No, in the active adult market sells pretty well and has done well despite any ups and downs, due to interest rates or any of those other things you've seen in maybe the other markets.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Jim?
That's all
I'm good.
All right. Anyone from the audience have any questions about this resolution? Perfect. Seeing none, we can move to vote. All those in favor of approving the motion to adopt resolution 2025-31, extending the time period to September 30th, 2026, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, John. Appreciate your time. Have a good night. Stay dry. We're to resolution 2025-32, the Regional Act 537 plan. Mr. Aback.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This process started probably about 7 years ago when DEP put us in a connection management plan for all the signatories going to the Kleins Island wastewater treatment plant. In 2022, the signatories passed an interim 537 plan to kind of keep
Sorry.
in good graces with DEP, with the understanding that we would come up with a long-range plan within the next 3 years. So for the past 3 years, all 15 signatories that go to Kleins Island have been working on this plan. Township engineers, authority engineers, and LCA engineers, city engineers. And we finally got to a point where we have a document that's ready to pass. For Upper Macungie Township, the impact is, I'm not going to say minor, but it's very manageable. We were very proactive in removing our inflow and infiltration, which is the primary focus of this plan. There will be rate impacts, mostly based upon what the county will spend on the system, and the county's costs are always shared by the signatories. So depending what their projects actually come in at and then what their debt service is, you don't know the full impact of the rates, but using some pretty good financial planners and some good data, we'll be okay. Our rates were going to remain relatively steady, and our continued I&I projects will still be self-funded without any debt service for ourselves. So I don't see any reason for us not to pass this plan. And 8 out of the 15 signatories have already passed it. And all the planning commissions have looked at it, including Upper Macungie's, and there were no comments. It's a big plan. I have it in front of me with the,
Is that
Sheets.
Is that the plan?
it's a hard copy.
That's why I didn't get a copy of my email, I guess.
No, you got the link.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2025-32, approving the 2025 Regional Act 537 plan as prepared by Aero Consulting. Is there a second for that?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jim. Sonny,
No further questions.
Jim?
I'm good.
I also am good. Are there any questions or community from the community here about the 537 plan? Lovely. Seeing none, we can move to vote. All those in favor of the motion to adopt 2025, Resolution 2025-32, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Bob. That passes.
Thank you.
C, Resolution 2025-33, the Comprehensive Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Plan. Mr. Griffith. Nope. We apparently don't want to hear you talk after all.
Cal, you want to?
We're working on it.
Do all of them.
I'm not used to the rain.
Try again.
Just
One
gonna go
more time.
How about now?
There we go. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As the board is aware, we've been working on the comprehensive park rec open space plan pretty much the entire time I've been here. We started in May of 2024 and recently have just finished up the draft plan that was presented to you back in July with Simone Collins, Landscape Architecture, was here. I just wanted to give a final kind of brief rundown of the public input process, the highlights from it, and what the key takeaways and recommendations from the plan are to have this motion in front of you to formally adopt the Park Rec Open Space Plan. I know Jasmine has some of my slides that were in the packet, but just go over the robust process that we followed over the past year. We had an online public survey that collected 1,120 responses. We engaged with a 14-person steering committee with a cross-section of UMT residents through various methods, including 6 steering committee meetings. Simone Collins Landscape Architecture team was at 3 of our large-scale special events in the township, including National Night Out. We had 3 public meetings, open invite to the public here with at the township building, interviews with the Simone Collins team and 10 key stakeholders and focus groups all across the township, focusing on open space programming and park facilities. We had in-person site visits to evaluate our current facilities and interview our staff on current operations and future planning. And a version of the draft plan was up on our website for a 30-day public comment period that received feedback to prepare the final draft. Some quick highlights of responses from the public input survey. 84% of those respondents were Upper Macungie Township residents. We saw an even split between length of residency. So you got a cross section of 0 to 5 years, 6 to 10, 11 to 20, and 25% of those respondents had been in the township for over 20 years. 50% of respondents said they visit parks several or every day of the week. Our top 3 visited parks, Grange, Lone Lane, and the county-owned Rodale Park are the 3 that are visited most. 66% of those respondents visit parks for walking and jogging exercise, and 45 visit for programs and events. 67%, so there's an adequate number of parks within close proximity to their home. And the top passive activities respondents would like to see are farmers markets, multi-use trails, and more community events. 85% stated open space preservation is somewhat to very important. And over the next 3 to 5 years, when they ask the question of their resident priorities, 54% want to see trails, pathways, and sidewalk systems, 40% added amenities to parks, and 39% to preserve more open space. We had an open-ended question at the end of the survey. There were 27 total questions, and I just want to point out that that open-ended, give us your feedback and suggestions, saw 427 respondents out of that 1,120 give us a response. So I just wanted to point that out, that those who did respond to the survey took a lot of time to give us their feedback. So as a result of that, what we wanted to present to you today is what the mission statement of the Park Rec Open Space Plan was. Using the steering committee to come up with this mission statement, the Upper Macungie Township Comprehensive Park Rec Open Space Plan will reinforce and advance the township's steadfast commitment to preserving and enhancing its parks, recreational spaces, and natural landscapes. Recognizing the township's rich history and ongoing growth, The plan will ensure that residents of all ages and abilities have access to opportunities for active, healthy living. This will be achieved through the development of exceptional park facilities, the continued safeguards of open spaces and natural resources, and the expansion of diverse recreational programming for the community. Leading with that mission statement, the recommendations from Simone Collins were broken into 4 vision areas: accessible, safe, inviting park spaces for all, innovative recreational programming, abundant and quality open spaces to promote healthy community environment, and a premier park and open space system for generations to come. In the packet you received, it does break those 4 visions down into 23 individual recommendations covering those main topics. Additionally, Simone Collins reviewed NRPA benchmarking, which there is a graph a little bit later on in our slides. You can show it real quick. That shows where we are in comparison nationwide to communities our size and where we're going to be growing. You can see very little red on that. It's a big chart, but basically anything in green or white, we're doing pretty well on. As we advance to the future, the red tells us where we're below those benchmarks and gives us an idea of what types of amenities or features we should work to stay in that line with those benchmarks. Simone Collins also presented to us an implementation metrics lower down. While it does not give specific dollar totals, it breaks the 23 recommendations into low, medium, and high cost, and in addition to short-term, middle-term, and long-term. So 0 to 5 years, 0 to 10, and also 0 to 15. I'll stop because if there's any questions to this point, I'd be happy to answer what they may have.
Okay, you good?
I'm good.
Okay. I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-33, amending the Upper Macungie Township Park and Recreation Plan by adopting the 2025 Upper Macungie Township Comprehensive Park Recreation and Open Space Plan.
I'll second.
Thank you, Sonny. Questions of, concerns of, Sonny?
No concerns. We've seen this before, so.
Questions of Ryan? He looks
Just
like
a-
he's ready to go. He's ready.
He's ready.
Try my
Yeah,
best.
I'll ask you one question because I don't want to disappoint you. You mentioned that
Don't feel that need.
67%, now you got me started, so you gotta let me finish. 67% of folks thought we had enough parks, but there was a portion, about a third, I guess, that it didn't. Do we have any idea where those folks are located?
I do not. The question was specifically, do you feel we have an adequate number of parks in close proximity to where you live?
Yeah, okay.
As far as the 84%, do we do have zip code data on where they come from? Yes, I can say the non-resident portion, about 11% is adjacent townships. So Lower Macungie, South Whitehall responded as well to our survey.
Oh, okay. All right.
But no, it did not give.
It did not,
please
it might
list your
be,
zip code in the
it
question.
would be interesting to know if there's a commonality in the numbers that said they didn't have anything nearby.
Jim?
I'm good.
I don't have any questions. Anyone from the community have any questions of Ryan or regarding the comprehensive, read it right, comprehensive park recreation and open space plan, which was discussed at the July meeting with representatives from Simone Collins? Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to adopt Resolution 2025-33, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes. Ryan, thank you. Thank you to your team. I know this was a lengthy process.
Yep.
But the numbers that you read, over 1,000 responses, the number of meetings that your team and Simone Collins put into this project is commendable. Thank you for taking such care with this process as we move forward. It's noted and appreciated. We are to D, right?
Oh, we are on D.
Yep.
Yes, we are.
That's
I'm missing a
correct.
page.
Ryan's still on
There we
deck
go.
too.
You're more
so-
important.
Yep.
Oh, I have yours.
Did you steal my stuff again?
No, I don't know.
Resolution D, 2025-34, the DCED
No,
LSA
I don't.
grant for Grange Park Loop Trail construction. Ryan again.
So this is a motion to allow us to apply for
Excuse me.
DCED local share account grant to complete phase 1 of the Grange Park Loop Trail construction. We've been in front of you before for other grant opportunities to get this project to the finish line. We've applied in 2024. We're unsuccessful. Reapplied for other various grants in 2025. And we want to also apply for this round of the local share account grant, which does not require a match component for this possibility. That dollar number is also a construction estimate that we worked with our engineering firm on for the phase 1.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-34, authorizing the submission of a Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development local share account grant in the amount of $856,096.64 for the Grange Park Loop Trail construction.
I'll second that. Sonny, questions or concerns?
No.
Jim?
I'm good.
Do we know if the LSA accounts typically grant this large of grant?
The range is listed from as low as 25,000 up to $1 million.
So we're in the
range.
we're in the ballpark. Okay. Nothing else from me. Any questions from the community regarding local share account grant for the Loop Trail construction? Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of Resolution 2025-34 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Ryan. But we're not done with you yet. Resolution 2025-35, a DCED LSA grant for Lone Lane Park Master Plan.
So this is one we've also been in front of you before for other grant applications. This one does not require a match, obviously, and it's a goal to get the master plan concept done for Lone Lane Park. As I've mentioned already, Lone Lane is the second most used park in the township, and we want to prioritize that in our planning and future development.
Well, shoot, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-35, authorizing the submission of a Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development local share account grant in the amount of $96,501 for a Lone Lane Park Master Plan. Is there a second?
Well, shoot, I will second.
Thank you. Sonny, questions or concerns? No? Jim?
I'm good.
Do we know if the LSA grants anything around $96,000?
That's our hope.
Okay. I hear the range is between 25,000 and $1 million. Is that about right? Okay. Just making sure. Any questions from the community for the second time about an LSA grant, but this time for Lone Lane Park Master Plan? Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of Resolution 2025-35 signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Ryan. And we're going to go one more time to you for Resolution 2025-36, the DCED LSA grant for the Grange Park Field Turf Improvements.
And just to mention that the reason these are separated is the applications go by project, so that's why they're not all bundled together. This one is for turf improvements at Grange Park. Grange Park is obviously the most used park in the township. We see a lot of our large-scale special events occur in this in this park, including sporting events such as South Parkland Youth Association uses it pretty heavily. For example, their end of the season tournaments for the various leagues they're in. Legends Laxapalooza comes in a national level tournament. It comes in 1 weekend a year. And this year, for the first time, we also had a national high school ultimate frisbee national invite came as well. We continue to work with Discover Lehigh Valley to promote sports tourism and our facilities into our township, which also come with a economic advantage to these tournaments that are a part of it. Scott and I were reached out to by a company that has a hybrid product, is kind of a cross between natural grass and some turf. That was an interesting product that potentially could improve fields. It is pricey. So we thought this was a worthwhile project to put a grant application in that does not require a township match.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-36, authorizing submission of Pennsylvania Department and Community and Economic Development, DCED, local share account LSA grant in the amount of $675,000 for Grange Park turf improvements.
I'll second that. Would this be theoretically, if it was approved, a turf replacement for the entire park or just certain
No,
segments?
it's a smaller field section. That amount is for roughly the size of a football field.
Okay. Would it just be the, say, football field?
We would work with the needs of our youth sports organizations and those that come in to identify the proper location.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns, Sonny or Jim?
You stole my question.
Gotcha.
His answer was perfect. I'll tell you when I tell you.
I assume that's no other questions from you.
No,
Anyone
I'm
from the
good.
audience have any concerns? Patrick?
I apologize for my tardiness. My mom was in an accident last week or last month, and it's been crazy ever since.
Is this in reference to the,
This is in reference to the motion today. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, of fellow residents. I strongly support this resolution, Resolution 2025-34.
we're at 36.
Sorry, 36, sorry. Still applies.
We're good. Yep.
This will be a win for our community, giving families a safe, healthy, and accessible space to connect with the outdoors and with the local share account grant. We can pursue it without extra cost to taxpayers. But let's be clear, this can't be where we stop. Upper Macungee's identity is built not just on new amenities, but on our green space and farmland. You know, this project is important, but if the land around them disappears, we've missed the bigger picture. That's why we need to keep pushing, applying for every grant we can, partnering with the state programs and conservation groups, and creating a long-term plan that protects our open space before it's too late. Passing this resolution is a great step. Let's also commit ourselves to the larger mission to preserve the farmland, green space, and character that make Upper Macungie home. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the community? Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of Resolution 2025-36 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Ryan. Again, thank you for your team for searching out these grants, identifying possibilities, identifying some growth opportunities for our recreational department and facilities, and moving forward with it. I appreciate it, and we all appreciate it.
By the way, that's a serious, honestly, he's, the amount of time it takes to go through this find them, go through the application, submit the docs. That's, good job, Brian.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Ryan.
That's enough.
His head is getting bigger.
That's enough.
Stop now.
All right, we are
All right.
to Section 7 motions. Motion A is authorizing extension of time for the recording of docket 2368, 617 North Crocs Road, the mixed-use minor subdivision.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this would be to authorize an extension of time for 120 days for the recording of docket 2368. This was for a minor subdivision only. The majority of the parcel is in Lower Macungie Township, but this board approved the plan because a portion of that parent tract does come into Upper Macungie Township, and that was approved on May 1st, 2025. So this would be the first extension that they're receiving. They are not able to record the plan in Lower Macungie Township until the Board of Commissioners in the township approves the plan. So that's why they need the extension today.
I make a motion to authorize an extension of time limitation for the recording of docket number 2368, 617 North Crocs Road, mixed-use minor subdivision to December 27th, 2025.
I'll second the motion. Do we have someone here from the developer? Just introduce yourself if you don't mind.
Good evening. Here on behalf of Attorney Durso and the applicant from Patrick Lentz and Buba,
Okay, and you are?
Sam Morgan.
Okay, nice to meet you, Sam.
Nice to meet you all.
Sam, I know this is in front of Lower Mac, I believe, next week.
No,
No.
it's been tabled. They've granted an extension.
So when's the next hearing in Lower Macungie? This is still in planning at Lower Macungie, yes?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, do we have any idea when the next planning commission meeting that they're going to be heard is?
I am not sure of the exact date. I know that there was tabled and that they're on the next planning commission,
Okay, so it's not,
and they're working with Lower
it's not the
Macungie.
September meeting now. I thought it was the September.
My
planning
understanding in conversations with other attorneys in the office, in Patrick's office, is that they're before the Board of Commissioners for land development approval. The subdivision is part of that packet of the land development plans. That was to be heard this evening by Lower Macungie Township, but they've tabled it and granted it, I think, a 30-day extension. It sounds like they're going to probably grant another extension as well.
Yep. So the applicant submitted their land development plan and subdivision plan at the same time.
Okay, so we don't, and if you don't know, Sam, I'm not going to hold you to it. Do we know if planning at Lower Mac's looking at this again, or are we just in front of Board of Commissioners in Lower Mac now? Does anybody know?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm
Okay.
just
The
here.
reason I'm asking,
Yep.
I've been in your shoes.
Yep.
I'm just asking because if we're giving an extension to December, I don't want to be in a spot where we're not giving it long
Good
enough,
enough.
or we're going to have
Yeah.
to do this again. So I guess Andrew and or Meredith, do you think December is sufficient time to reevaluate? Is 120 days the right number, or
Who came up with your time amount? Who came up with the date?
I think that was that requested, or is that just our typical extension timeframe?
is it typical
I
one?
think that's, and I generally like to have the extension run through a supervisors meeting. So like the day
Right.
after it expires, after a supervisors meeting.
Right, and that's another
Just so
thing
we
is
can
that we're
take
having
action
this.
without it
This is
expiring.
expiring theoretically, what, 5 days, 6 days before we meet again?
Correct.
Does it make sense to push it to our January meeting?
I would do it the day after the January meeting.
Do we know,
Tuesday.
does anybody know off the top of their head when we're meeting in January?
The 5th.
January 5th? So can we, with
Don't
your
look at me, I'm not meeting. January 5th.
I'm not looking at you, but I'm asking
You
you
did
a
look
question.
at me.
No, I didn't. I have not turned my head, Jim. Jesus. Can we, Jim, amend your motion to extend it to January 6th, 2025, which is after our next meeting, so that we can make
2026.
2026, so that we can make it.
Yes.
All right. So the motion's been amended to January 6th, 2026 is the extension date, and I'll second the amended motion. January 6th, 2026. Sonny, questions, concerns, annoyances, comments?
Well, I'll tell you what my concern is that this mixed-use development has me, the intersection of Citronia and Crocs has me concerned. Right? And I know we're trying to address that, but to be honest with you, I struggled over this extension because of that issue. But I'm hoping that, I'm hoping that without, by granting this, we're still getting some cooperation to make that improvement at the developer's cost.
Yep.
So,
The applicant's discussing and talking with Attorney Durso, and they're in discussions with those traffic concerns and other improvement concerns as well.
that has me, that is a real serious problem for me, and I think for the constituents who spoke to me about it, especially the ones that live right in that intersection area. And, I don't know, I'm doing this under duress to some degree because I'm not really crazy about it, but I'm expecting that you'll come through and your client will come through with a suitable response.
I understand your concern. I'll relay that.
All right, thank you.
Jim?
Good.
I don't love the word duress, but I understand Sonny's position. I think we can make sure that Attorney Durso hears the concerns of this body, that some of the plans that are moving forward, specifically with regards to the signaling of Citronia and Crocs, cause us some concern. And we're hopeful that the positive conversations that I believe were started today continue, and that your client and Attorney Durso understand that we would like to continue working towards a positive resolution of this.
Thank you.
Well, what I'm hearing, I mean, I think there's a strong gap between what is needed and what is offered. That's my, maybe duress is the wrong word, but
We're good. I think
you could give me a better word. You want to give me a better word?
he's voicing concerns.
All right.
Understood.
Thank you.
Understood.
Appreciate it.
Anyone from the community have any concerns or questions regarding the extension of time for the recording of docket 2368? Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to authorize the extension of time for the recording of docket 2368 to January 6th, 2026, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Good night.
Motion B, the transfer of sanitary sewer funds. Mr. Aback.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's a development going on in Lower Macungie Township, just below what we refer to as the Coldwater Crossing Development. As part of that development, Lower Macungie is willing to extend their municipal system up into our township, which is right by a township sanitary sewer pump station. Having accessibility to that sewer main provides us with an emergency backup should the pump station encounter problems, or in the future, if we decide to decommission that pump station, we could do an intermunicipal agreement with Lower Macungie and flow our affluent down there. Obviously, that benefit isn't for Lower Macungie, it is for us. So they would ask our township to reimburse them for the work. HRG and Lower Macungie's manager have both looked at the engineer's estimate. I'm asking for $200,000 from our unappropriated reserve because this was obviously something we didn't know about for this year's budget. But we feel it'll be less than that unless they hit a lot of rock. But that the numbers that were provided were accurate and reasonable.
I'll make a motion to approve the transfer of $200,000 from the sanitary sewer unappropriated reserve account to the cold water pump station capital line item. Funds are to be used to reimburse Lower Macungie Township for their system expansion.
I'll second that. Questions, Sonny?
Yeah, just, by doing this, you think longer term we're saving money?
Yes.
So there's a big, or at least a decent return on this investment.
In the future, to replace that or do a major haul of that pump station could be north of $1 million. To connect, to bypass our pump station and connect to that main could be $150,000.
Right, okay. Well, that's all I had. It sounds like a sound business decision.
I believe so.
Jim?
I'm good.
Anyone from the audience have concerns or questions regarding the transfer of sewer funds for the cold water pump station capital line item? Perfect. Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to approve the transfer of $200,000 from the sanitary sewer unappropriated reserve account for the cold water pump station capital line item, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Motion C, authorizing advertisement of a public hearing for the liquor license transfer request for 241 North Pennsylvania Route 100. Jasmine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Pennsylvania Liquor Code requires applicants to obtain from the receiving municipality a resolution approving an intermunicipal transfer of the liquor license prior to the submission of an application to the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board. The Liquor Code also stipulates that prior to adoption of a resolution by the receiving municipality, at least one public hearing must take place. And for this, we are requesting that this be seen on October 2nd during our general business meeting to later see the resolution later in that same meeting.
I'll make a motion to authorize the advertisement for a public hearing for a liquor license transfer request for 241 North Route 100 to be held October 2nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. during the general business meeting. Is there a second for that?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jim. Sonny.
Two questions, actually. Can I ask what business this is going to take over the liquor license? Do we know?
I think when I looked at it, my recollection is it's the I don't know if it's still a Dunkin' Donuts right up near the 178 interchange.
The Dunkin' Donuts is going to sell liquor?
I'm not certain if it's still a Dunkin' Donut.
There's
No,
going
no,
to be
there-
some spiked cider or something?
No.
It's that
I-
gas station.
It's a convenience store.
It's a convenience store?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what type of liquor license are they looking to transfer in? Do we know?
I think it was an R.
It's an R, it's a restaurant.
Restaurant, okay.
They have been also talking with the zoning officer, and they have made sure that they have the appropriate amount of seating and also parking that's needed for that.
So if this is currently a gas station, that's what I heard, are they allowed to put a restaurant in there?
It's very similar to like
To
the
the
Sheets
Sheetz.
or a Wawa or something
So
like
it's
that.
very limited seating, right?
But again, this motion is just authorizing the
Hearing.
hearing
Yeah,
where we're going to get answers.
Yeah,
to
no,
our
I get it, but
questions.
I'd like to at least know what
Me too.
what I'm getting into, right?
And I liked it a lot better when it was an alcoholic Dunkin' Donuts, but we'll go from where we are.
I was intrigued by it.
I thought that was going to be fantastic. Jim, questions or concerns?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Sonny, are you good for now?
For now.
Okay. Anyone from the audience have a question about a motion to authorize a hearing? Perfect. Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to authorize the advertisement for public hearing for a liquor license transfer for October 2nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, that passes. Thank you, Jazz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Motion D, authorizing the 2026 minimum municipal obligation for pensions plans. We're getting to the exciting stuff now, Michelle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're required to submit our minimum obligation by September 30th. We're looking for approval for the 2026 MMO for the township's 2 non-uniform and 1 uniform pension plans.
This cost also gets offset by the state pension aid. I think last year we got 653,000.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 minimum municipal obligation of the township's 2 non-uniform pension plans and the 1 uniform plan totaling $696,283 for the non-uniform defined benefit plan, $59,539 for the non-uniform defined contribution plan, and $945,852 for the uniform plan. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
I was going to say under duress, but
We're not duressed, but we're disturbed, maybe. Questions? Jim, anything?
I'm good. That's good.
Sonny?
Nothing. I'm not
Okay.
as stressed about this one.
Okay. And Michelle, those numbers are all based on the calculations and the formulas and the math that we're
The
given. It's
formulas,
not really a
salaries,
discretionary
wages.
number here.
Nope, it's a formula.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
All right.
And
Any,
and we do receive state aid
Yeah,
to
the
help
state
offset
aid
some
this
of
year
this
was
cost.
600.
okay. So state aid that gets us to these numbers or state
No.
aid with these numbers?
Doesn't get us there.
It's 1.7 million without the state aid, and then about 600 and some thousand with state aid.
Okay. So we get something, but not everything.
No.
Okay.
It'll probably end up being like about 1 million something.
Questions from the community regarding the MMOs? Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to approve the 2026 minimum municipal obligations of the township signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Michelle. Motion E, authorizing the township manager to enter an agreement with Dash by Daysmart for the recreation software. Ryan.
Sounded like a commercial.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In our evaluation of where we're going in recreation, obviously the onboarding of the Upper McCudgee Township Community Lifestyle Center, our recreation department is growing, and we took a look at our software system we currently use. We've outgrown its capabilities. It's not as user friendly as it needs to be. It's not as customer service friendly as it needs to be. And we did an evaluation in the last couple of months of 5 different software companies. We gave a chance to review RecDesk. We looked at something called MyRec, Tyler Technologies, Dash, and a Smart Rec by Amelia. The team that evaluated was myself, Michelle, and Emily to look at it from the finance perspective and from the recreation perspective. We feel this is the best solution for our growing needs to move forward for not only internal staff, but our residents and those who would rent a pavilion, rent a field, sign up for a program, learn about our calendar. It's going to put us in the best position to where we're going. However, we've got to build the software out. We've got to get all the info off the old system into a new system. We got to test it out, train on it, make sure it works. Dash is working with us to be able to do that onboarding if we enter into this agreement, but there's no monetary cost until 2026. We would budget that number correctly and exactly in the 2026 budget, but we need to be authorized to sign the service agreement to get the ball rolling on the training and onboarding.
I'll make a motion to approve the township manager to enter into a service agreement with Dash by Daysmart Recreation Software at a cost of $12,375. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Questions, Sonny?
I had a couple of questions on this. So, it sounded like you evaluated a number of packages. How did the price compare to the ones that you evaluated?
All of them were within. Tyler responded to us that they cannot meet our needs, and thank you for calling us, but we're not going to be
Not
help.
even.
The other 4 were all within 1,000 to 2,000 of each other. MyRec's downfall is that it goes on a sliding revenue scale, so we took that out of the equation because we wanted to have a set dollar price point that we're not fluctuating too much. And then the 2 we came down to were Smart Rec and Dash. They were right on the same price point. It is slightly higher than RecDesk, but we are getting more functionalities.
So I did notice that in the agreement, they were asking for a 5% inflation escalator, which seemed kind of high, but how did that compare to the other ones?
Right around the same. They all said escalation prices year over year.
Yeah, it just seems kind of high. And I don't know, in the past commercial environment, I've been able to negotiate a little bit of that, but I don't know. And we're allowed to do that, but I was just curious about it. And so this 12,375, you indicated that this is just for the lease. It's not for the, is there any additional integration cost to bring it up or?
No, what that is, so promotional to do some of the training and onboarding at no cost. This is to be able to access and work with the system in year one, starting as soon as we sign for the remainder of this year and all of 2026 rolled into one price, but deferred till 2026.
Okay,
Because
so
we
there's-
still need our current system operational. We
Right.
still have programs that are registering, still have pavilion rentals going on. We need to still work with our current system through the end of 2025.
Ryan, so is this going to, switching over, is that going to be a big burden for you and your team, or are you going to be able to?
No, from what we learned from their onboarding, and to be honest, I built out Allentown system in MyRec from the ground up when I was there. So we're going to be good to go.
Okay, great.
It's also going to put us in a position to be ready to go January, like we always are, for our residents.
You said okay, but so you said MyRec. This is not Dash. You
Right.
haven't-
I'm just saying I have experience in building out software.
Okay, you've
recreation
gone
software.
through this before,
Yeah.
but not with this platform.
Not with
Different
this exact one.
platform. Okay, I got it. Thank you. That's all I had.
Any third-party services you're looking at? The texting or the emailing or the
We
electronic
haven't yet
signature?
because we've announced with Granicus and the other things we're currently using, we're pretty happy. It's just knowledge that it's in there if we were to. Things like the printing for wristbands may down the road, something like that, but not in this first round.
And the fees for that in this contract are also gonna go up over the next, or,
No, so for example, something like the wristband printing, it's a flat price and it's a per
Okay.
month as you would use it.
because
I don't-
I could see us using one or two of these add-ons, so. I'm good.
I don't think I have any questions. Anyone from the audience have questions regarding Dash by Daysmart? Make sure we give their proper name each time. Seeing none, we can move to a vote. Excuse me. All those in favor of the motion to approve the township manager to enter a service agreement with Dash by Daysmart, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? That passes. Thank you. Excuse me for a minute. Run out of oxygen. That is it for that. We are to board and staff reports. The monthly department reports are available at the back of the room, have been posted to the township's website. Are there any department managers who have anything specific they'd like to announce? Pete.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I'd just like to remind everyone that next Friday evening, the Movies in the Park is our emergency preparedness and fire prevention event that we've been doing in coordination with REC for the September Movies in the Park. Please come out and see your local fire company, and we'll also have things for the kids to do as well, like we normally do. And also on the 13th, that following day, that Saturday, we're going to be doing an emergency services event in coordination with Citroni Ambulance and our police department at Coldwater Crossing from 11 to 3. You're more than welcome to stop out there as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete. Mike.
I'd just like to remind everybody, if there's any bus stops that you would like being monitored by the police department, you can submit them via Facebook, and we'll get on that and add them to our list. For any safety concerns or anything like that. Thank you.
How's the new resource officer going in North Whitehall?
Very good. Some interesting stories already, but it's always interesting with kindergartners.
We will have those stories off the record, I suppose, to protect the innocent involved. Thank you for everything you guys do. The Emergency Services Department, Upper Macungie, I believe, are second to none, and we appreciate everything you do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis for us to keep us safe, secure, and free from harm to the best you can. Appreciate it. Bob.
I think Jasmine's going to just announce some dates. I'll let her take that.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do have a few things. First, we had an executive session held today at 6 p.m. and the topic discussed was legal matters. During the month of October, we will be holding our budget meetings that will be held on October 7th, 14th, and 21st at 5:30 PM here at the Township Building. In efforts to increase communication with our residents, we sent out an email blast yesterday. It was also posted on Facebook. Our packets that you see the board is reading up here while we're here are now available online. That will be posted on Facebook as well as our website. Moving forward, the department reports that were previously being provided on a separate link will all be included in there as well. With that, I want to thank all of the staff that helps get all of this information over to me on time to be able to provide this information for the community. We continue to receive a submission for the Kathy Rader Good Citizenship Award. We can still receive those. Those are still open. Please feel free to continue to send those in. We would like people to continue engaging in our Upper Macungie Township Connect app on Play and Apple. And last but not least, volunteers in the township are always needed. Fire needs them. We need them on our boards and commissions. Make sure you guys send those applications in as well as resumes, and we will go ahead and put you on the list and reach out to you as openings do occur. And with that, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Jazz. I think I speak for everybody here. Thank you for you and your team. I know the transparency effort was a long one, and getting those packets available to the public was appreciated. And as always, thank you for what you and your communication team are doing to make sure that our residents are informed of what's going on and keeping us apprised and in paper when we need to be. So thank you for what you're doing. It's appreciated and it's recognized.
Totally second that. I know I've been needling you about it for a while, so thank you. Thank you 1,000 times for all the work that you and the team did. I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Okay, 1,000 times.
1,000 times.
Cal,
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Meredith.
I'll just provide a really quick update. As you know, we originally had a zoning workshop scheduled for today. At the last meeting, we announced that those were going to be canceled. We don't have anything planned for the next few months, but it's still running behind the scenes. The staff is still working on the zoning rewrite. We're just kind of reorganizing and figuring out the path forward, and then once we have that, we'll announce it.
Okay, thank you. Andrew.
Meredith took my speech on the zoning ordinance, and Ryan's going to follow up with an update as to what we've worked on since last meeting on the Shantz Road issue.
Okay, maybe you guys should switch seats next time and you get to talk first.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Green Light Go projects are progressing well. We just received comments back for Tillman Street just last week. And Hamilton Boulevard, we are working with your signal contractor to work out we have to do a radio site survey. So we're going to be working with Scott and Signal Services for that. Regarding the VZAP assessment, last meeting I indicated we would be submitting our 5-year capital plan to the township. We did that on August 12th. We will be coordinating with Bob and Cal and the board accordingly in the future. We did focus on Lone Lane Park, as I mentioned before, and Grange Park and Briningsville. And then lastly, I have in my report the Shantz Road potential turnback from PennDOT. Andrew and I did meet to discuss, the guidelines from PennDOT. We did a little research as well, just some stats to throw out there. Shantz Road does travel about 10,000 vehicles per day, of which 9% are trucks, which equals about 887 trucks per day. Typically in a turnback situation, PennDOT wants to turn back roads that have low to average volume. In my opinion, Shantz Road is not one of those roads. And we did take a look back, and PennDOT has guidelines for reasons not to turn back a state-owned road. And a couple of them have to do with, is it a primary detour route if something happens on a PennDOT road, which, yes, Shantz Road is. Would it be a fragmented roadway? It would be, however, we could work with PennDOT to swap other roads and make sure it's not fragmented. Is it a part of the district's winter maintenance program, which, yes, it is. And then the major one is that, would the municipality have an intent to change the characteristics of that road or restrict traffic? So in order for PennDOT to consider the turnback, the township would need to disclose to PennDOT potentially that you would be looking to eliminate trucks on Shantz Road. Right now, it is restricted to the west of Nestle Way. No trucks over 45 feet. So if there are trucks over that size, then it's an enforcement issue. And beyond that, I spoke to two people at PennDOT. One is the turnback coordinator, John Davis, who then pointed me towards Carrie Cox, who is the district traffic engineer. I just talked to her about potential turnbacks and specific to Shantz Road, and said, if it was the township's intent to eliminate trucks from Shantz Road, would PennDOT consider a turnback? And she just flat out said no. She indicated Shantz Road is a vital part of the road network. It's a vital part of the trucking network. It's a major arterial that is one of the links between Allentown and Reading and the Lehigh Valley. So those are my findings.
Okay.
I had a question. So you said 9% of the trucks on Shantz Road, 9% of the traffic are trucks.
Correct.
What about the section that's restricted? We have the statistics?
That was the section I checked. I checked just to the west of Grimm and Nestle Way. Right.
So that 9% of the traffic is in violation. Is that a
Well,
deduction? Is that
No, it didn't specify what size the trucks were.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Just truck is, even RVs are considered trucks as
Okay.
as per their counts.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Who we got? Ever talkative Scott Faust?
That's a
Weird.
surprise.
That's stunning.
Shocking.
Michelle? That's also weird. We're gonna start grouping you two together as the non-talkative one. Then you hand it off to Smiley McTalkative over there. Ryan from the rec department.
As
Just
long
a
as he
couple,
gets us money, he can say anything he wants.
just a couple of program and event updates since the last meeting in August. We did have our movie in the park on August 8th at Bryansville Park. Approximately 200 participants at that event. We held, in conjunction with Lehigh Valley Martial Arts, a teen and adult self-defense workshop that sold out of 40 participants on August 23rd. Emily just completed our Slytherin S'mores date for our Wildlands Conservancy that had about 30 people. That is consistently at Lone Lane, and we continue to work on that program. And last weekend, we had our concert in the park, our August concert in the park. I don't have an exact attendance because I was not there, but I hear it was north of about roughly 300. And Emily and staff and our board of supervisors received a lot of positive comments about the program. Coming up, Grub and Groove at Grange. If someone can stop the rain on Thursdays, that would be fantastic. We have a couple left through the end of the month on the through every Thursday through the 25th, and we end at the end of September. We have a new twist on our pickleball tournaments. We're doing a doubles under the light pickleball tournament on Saturday the 13th from 5 to 10 p.m. We have another teen and adult self-defense workshop on which is held on September 6th. And then our fall winter newsletter is going through all the staff reviews, making sure everything's correct, and that should be out in households in the next couple of weeks for our residents.
I will note, as someone who was attending the concert in the park on Saturday, it was a fantastic evening. Couldn't ask for better weather. The band was terrific. The vendors were awesome. Your staff deserves commendation for those events. Really well run, Doug. It was free. It was really nice. Didn't see you there either.
You're not allowed to complain now because it was.
So there's a supervisor who I won't name, Jim, who said he was going, who didn't, which left a lot more drinking and eating for me, which I appreciated. But those events continue to be great, and it was nice to have people coming up to the Upper Macungie Rec booth and saying thank you and how much they appreciate it. That band, I believe, is coming back October 4th. Is that right?
You're potentially coming back. We have a makeup from May that we have to finalize and cross T's, dot I's. And then we also have one on the 27th of September. Look for the promotion to come out before the weekend.
If you have the opportunity to do so, you should go out and enjoy our park, enjoy the opportunity to be outside, enjoy the opportunity for live free music. It really was a nice event, really well run. And the events that you all continue to put on, you're doing a fantastic job. We appreciate it.
Try.
I hate to add on to the glory, but I will tell you, I didn't get the chance to go out to that one, but I do hear a lot of positive things about Drummond the Grange when it's not raining. So thank you for that as well.
Someone changes the weather would be great.
Jim, anything from you?
No, sir.
Tony, anything from you?
No, that's it.
I'm good for today as well. So we are to public comment. We'll go, Mr. Roos, we'll get to you in 1 second. We're going to go hear from, so go around the room. Yes, sir.
Hi, team. It's me again, Scott Keller, Bridingsville. So, Ryan, thank you very much for your report on Shantz Road. I didn't hear anything that we can't overcome, so I'd like some detail. Do we do that on a side meeting, or do we do it in here, or?
So why don't we do this? If Bob, if you're comfortable, or Ryan, you're comfortable, maybe we do a meeting with Scott, not here. Just
Good.
making staff
The-
available to you.
Yeah, I was going to
Hold
contact
on,
Ryan,
the-
but I.
The force and effect of that meeting is to what?
So I
Just
want to
to-
understand, I have some quick questions, Jim, like the documents, Ryan, by the way, Ryan, I was going to reach out to you, but I don't know the protocol. I don't want to break any rules.
Go through the
so,
township.
Yeah.
It should come through. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. I have some questions like, do I have access to these documents that PennDOT commented on, quote, turn
You have
back?
access to my engineer's report, which is a public document that was submitted for
Okay,
tonight's
are
meeting.
the PennDOT documents, the quote, turn back, list of turn back reasons, or is that public information?
Yes, that's on their
Okay.
website.
So
Yes.
can I contact Carrie and the other gentleman you mentioned? Is that,
You can feel free to.
Okay.
I don't know if their contact info is public,
okay,
but the turn back, the guidelines are on PennDOT's website. So
they are.
yes,
Okay, awesome.
yes.
All right. Yeah, so I didn't have a chance to review everything, just in the 90 seconds that Ryan reported. So I want
It's unacceptable,
to
Scott.
dig a little deeper,
Hmm.
So why
just
don't
ask the
we-
5 whys.
Why don't we do this? Why don't take a day, 2, 3. When you've had a chance to review and you've got your detailed list, email Bob. Bob will set up a meeting with you guys, and we can.
Great.
We're not shutting you off, but let's.
Oh, no,
let's
it's, by the way,
continue-
it's not me. It's 150 community people.
Understood. Let's
Yeah.
let's continue that conversation, committed to your concerns.
Okay.
Not making a commitment, just committing other than the committing the conversation, which should help you understand better and us understand what we can do better.
Yeah, great.
So, and for the record, I'm one of the ones behind you, believe it or not.
Oh, thanks, Jim.
And I know he is too.
Yeah, Mike's been.
Even though he gets the brunt of the not policing and everything else, he'd like to have it go away as well. But at the end of the day, he's a resource.
Oh, yeah.
And we have to make sure that we're spending that resource appropriately. So
Yep.
I heard today that there are quite a bit of hurdles
Mhm.
that turnback's probably not an option. That's what I heard. So that's why I wanted to get an idea from you. If you still think
Right.
that that's doable,
Yeah.
then what I didn't want to have is have you get in touch with him and rehash
Yeah.
kind of what we went through already, because that's on our dime, and he's already doing a lot of stuff for us,
Mhm.
pushing the other requirements
Sure.
of the township.
I'm just asking for an
board. So
offline meeting.
That's all.
Yeah. So I'm asking for a short offline meeting for you to identify for me the resources of where this all information came from, and I guarantee you I will spend tens of hours reviewing it.
So I
And-
think in this case, what'll happen is he can provide that to Bob, which could get you started, and then you could contact Bob again
Yeah.
once you've done your research and you have an
Yeah.
agenda,
Awesome.
and what you want to go through,
Yeah.
and then we can.
I think that's where we were. So
Yep.
Ryan, if you want to
I-
provide
I
Bob with
wanted
the.
to just be.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
I,
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to be clear about that. that's
And
all.
I agree
Yeah.
wholeheartedly with you. If Ryan, you'll provide Bob with the resources, Bob, you can send them out to Scott. Scott, you can then do your due diligence,
Yep.
reach out, request the meeting to follow up and ask some specific questions.
Absolutely. I want to get it out to the community, and
Yep.
lots of questions are going to come back. And
Yep.
A little backstory, Jim. I spent 19 years in high-tech startup companies. Nine times out of 10, the answer is you can't do it.
Oh, no,
But-
I agree.
but we do it.
I
Yeah.
agree. Still, you work with PennDOT or another government agency.
I don't have a lot of
then you
experience. with it.
then you'll that's why I'm not running again after sitting here for
No, no, I heard
12
people in the
years,
audience. You,
it's-
you put your time in. Yeah.
It's, good luck.
I will.
Because
Thanks.
if he says you can't turn it back,
He doesn't.
you're, well,
I don't necessarily agree with the hand wave, but I understand what you're talking about.
Uh,
Bob's card's right there for the contact information for you. And I think
don't
that
take my cynicism the wrong
No, no,
way.
I understand.
we're engaged to continue listening and continue evaluating. I don't think anyone's making a commitment other than next conversation.
Okay, great. And a quick question for Jasmine. Is there a list of volunteers that are specifically needed for the township somewhere? Or,
Right now, we do have a seat for the rec board, but we'd like to maintain a list just in case if there is an opening, we would be able to fill those positions as quickly as possible.
I just wondered if it was on
Is-
the website or something.
Yeah, exactly. Is there a tab that says volunteering tab that could have?
You can go onto the website, you can do a quick search in the search bar. If you type in volunteers, you will get our application, which is what is on there. There's not a current list on there other than the volunteers that are currently on the different commissions that we have.
Okay, so you don't know what you're applying for. You're just applying to be a volunteer.
No, on the application, you would actually go ahead and select which commissions or
Oh, okay.
groups that you would be interested in, and you would be able to select, and you would be placed on a list in accordance with what you were interested in being a part of.
And if anything would suit you, you can check as many of those as you wish.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Alrighty. Thank you, Jasmine.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks for your time.
Appreciate it. I think Mr. Foose was coming up and then we'll work our way back. I got you.
back to this, there's no way to put where we need volunteers on the website?
I'm sorry.
There would be no place or way to put where we need volunteers on the website. I know we do the fire piece is already there, but for commissions and
Because it is constantly moving, and for a period of time during this past year, we had no open seats, and this is just occurring now. So with all the
actually
constant moving.
occurs more than you think.
If you're
So-
interested in volunteering for the Rec Board, Planning Commission, Zoning Hearing Board, please fill out a volunteer application. If you're
Are we
watching
doing-
this, you're interested, please do so.
Are we doing zoning hearing too?
Just have it at bank. It's always good to
Oh,
have people
okay.
in the queue. Mr. Foose.
Chairman Fleischaker, at this board meeting, Supervisor Guy admitted he felt under duress about a proposed mixed-use development. And yet despite that, he still voted to support it. The people of Upper Macungie deserve leaders who stand strong, who make decisions with courage, conviction, and a focus on our community's best interest. Leadership is not bending under pressure. It's protecting the residents, standing firm, and doing what's right for the township. Feeling under duress is understandable, but supporting a project anyway is a choice. And our community deserves choices that reflect strength and accountability. We need supervisors who will listen, lead, and put residents first. And here's the positive truth. Upper Macungie can have that leadership. Together, we can choose leaders who inspire confidence, act with integrity, and always put our township first. That's the leadership we deserve, and that's the future we will build. Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Maureen Ewitz. I've been a resident here in Upper Macungie for 24 years. I live in Valley West. Last year, we were at several meetings, and I understand that there is a noise ordinance for Upper Macungie, but I understand that the police officers, which we love you guys, you do your job more than anybody can ever complain. However, we had a situation 2 Saturdays ago, and this past Saturday as well. And I had several calls from different neighbors that called the comm center on that Saturday. We do not have any ordinances in this township, am I correct, that is venues in a residential section? Venue meaning having weddings year after year?
So the question is whether or not we have a restriction on having a wedding venue within what I assume to be a residential district.
Area. That the music went from 11:45 during the day till 9:15 with at least 6 to 7 calls to the comm center because the music was so loud. We were 4 blocks away and the single homes were hearing it. And I understand where the police are. Believe me. I, a matter of fact, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon after being, and I mean, the music was unbelievable. Okay. It's not my kind of music. Okay. I'd rather have the country. But anyway, we all talked in the neighborhood. And of course, I'm always never mind, but you know what I'm trying to say. I'm always the one that has to do it all. So I came down to the police area. And of course, it was a Saturday. You guys aren't always there, which is fine. So I called the comm center and I requested a police officer at the building. They came. They were wonderful. We had a sergeant. I saw a sergeant go down the side and I spoke to another police officer. And one of many that we dealt with that day and several shifts. And he said they couldn't do anything about it. I said, wait a minute. I said, this is not disturbing the peace. He heard the music at the police station from a block where the intersection is, and it was 2 more blocks up the street. Now, we had to listen to that for 9.5 hours with no stopping. And they also had a dance floor on the driveway. These are twins. These are not single homes. The music just goes over the whole mountainside. And there was nothing that they could do. They told me because they don't have the machines in their cars. Do you? Don't you? Weren't we talked about that last year and they said that they were going to?
No, we do not have the decibel meters.
This is disturbing the peace when the windows are going like this in our homes. We can't even sit in our living room and watch the TV. That's all we heard. What can we do? We're at our wits' end. This happened last year on a Saturday. It happened 2 Saturdays ago. And lo and behold, this Saturday, it started again. We got the car, drove down. They saw that we were not happy and they lowered it. But this is not what we want in this. I have 24 years in this area and it's beautiful. It's residential. We have in that development in the Twins, we have one gentleman that is the landlord of 33 homes in there. He does not do a background check. He does not do a credit check. And he puts somebody in the day that the people move out. We do not know if those are people coming in here that are all fine and dandy, or are they sexual predators? We have no idea. And the more they come in like this, the worse it's getting up there. Because if one does this, like they did 2 Saturdays ago and a year ago, more are doing it. We have a guy that's 3 doors up from this one that just did the wedding, that he has 9 cars in his driveway, 9 on the street, and he brings a tractor trailer in and does the horn at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, this is all disturbing the peace. And I know the police officers that have done their job more times over. They put up with us calling all the time about these situations. We need some kind of something.
Is it the same house or is it just different
It's
homes?
32 Whitman Drive.
I have a question. I mean,
Yes.
you're saying it happens on a routine basis.
Well, it was last year, the last week in August, and it was this year, the
Okay.
last week in August. 2 weddings.
All right. So it's not like every weekend, but it's
Down that way on
Yeah.
that Whitman Drive, there are a lot of people that are very loud and it just echoes over everything. And, nothing can be done because I feel bad for the police officers. They're up there because we're calling. They have to come out.
So hold on. At one point you said it was this past Saturday and 2 Saturdays
No,
ago?
it was this past Saturday, they just turned up the music and we got in the car and drove down and kind of looked at, is this going to happen again? And they turned the music down.
But that was where the wedding was?
No, yes, the same address, and 32 is the address. And this happened the 2 Saturdays ago that the wedding was going on, started at quarter
And
12.
a year ago.
And a year
And a year
ago, the
ago.
last week in August as well. And I was here and I complained about the same thing. And then we discussed a lot of different things with the noise ordinance. But what can we do? I mean, do we have any policies also with the landlord bit? Do we have to have landlords sign in when other people are moving in? I know for a fact somebody 2 doors up just moved in and they never signed up to the township. I was told that everybody that moves in here has to come down here and sign into the township.
So everyone that does move into the township should be filling out a move-in permit.
They're not.
And I also have been in front, and I have had people that are going to be renting their properties. I do inform them, as well as all of our staff inform them, that they must fill out one as the owner of the property, but also if it is being rented, those people are required to come in as well to fill them out. Do they do it all of the time? Absolutely not, because people are not going to do that, unfortunately. But we do inform them that that is what is needed.
But what can we do to make sure that these people are safe people when the landlords are not doing background checks? Is there any way that the township can come up with ruling that these landlords have to at least bring in the background checks for these people? Because how do we know who's moving in and moving out? They're moving in 6 months here, a year here. It's crazy.
Ma'am, you're bringing up a lot of issues. Let's try to stay with one at a time so that we can address them. Otherwise, it'd be hard. So you came here with noise as the
Yes.
first concern. So let's.
And I believe
let's-
that is the rental. That's why I'm bringing the rental part up.
Okay, so let's focus on that for a second, because I'm still trying to come up to speed. At first, it sounded like this address was almost acting like a business because it was happening often. I'm not hearing that now. I'm hearing that it's just like once a year or something.
Well,
But-
it's once a year, but it's a wedding. That's a venue. We have beautiful places around in Upper Macungie. Why can't they have it at a venue rather than disturbing the peace of 60, 80 homes up
Right.
there?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what we have oversight on and what we don't. So I don't know if we can.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I don't know if we can.
Last year it was 10 times louder to the point where we couldn't, none of us, they all had their windows closed. We had our windows open, but even the people that had their windows closed, it was bouncing off the windows.
Okay, so regarding the noise, what time frame was this happening?
11:45 in the afternoon to 9:15 when the police said that they could shut them down at 9:15.
Okay, so at
That's
quarter to
9 hours.
so quarter to 12. I mean, the code enforcement officer could have.
Not on a Saturday.
Oh, it was on a Saturday. Oh, I'm
See, these things all happen on the weekends.
Okay,
There's no
okay.
code enforcement, and
Yeah.
I understand that, but something's got to be done and something's got to be put down that you can't, it's like having a venue. I mean, they had the dance floor. They had a DJ that was using a microphone that just about made you jump off your feet. Now, it's a Saturday. It's a weekend. I like to enjoy my patio. And we had music going, but I have the consideration for the neighbors. It's tough. I know this is a tough one for you, but we've got to do something about it.
Well, and I think Mike and his team respond as best that they can. If
Oh,
it's an
yeah.
issue that they come out and they say, you got to keep it down. There's a couple of interesting intersections of constitutional law with what
I know.
what we can and can't require of
I know.
individual homeowners. And then there's the intersection of the practicality of having 24-hour, 7-day a week code enforcement staff with
No,
decibel
you
readers,
can't
which
do
is
that.
difficult
I
to do.
understand that. But I feel bad for the police officers because they're doing their job.
Yep.
They're coming out, and I watched them after I left here. I pulled off to the side of the road. I went, doggone it, they better be coming up here. And I watched 2 of them come up there, and it was, I bet you 10 minutes later, I saw them flying down Scenic View. Not flying, but going down Scenic View. And nothing was done. The music was as loud. I swear it's 5 minutes. They know that the police are gone, and up it goes.
Yeah, it's the limit of any practical law enforcement or ordinance enforcement mechanism is that we can't be doing it 24 hours a day all the time. It's difficult. And having the police respond and then 5 minutes later calling them again,
There's no fines?
if that's your only recourse, the police staff know how to deal with people. And if they keep coming back, I'm assuming that they'll issue a citation at some point. If it's a continued response issue, but I'm going to defer to Mike because his team's the one responding to it because we don't have the resources to do that on a Saturday.
Well, we called at 1 o'clock. We called at 3 o'clock. Now I'm saying we, I'm not saying me altogether, but there were 6 phone calls during those time periods. Finally, the one police officer said to the one woman up there, well, we can't really do anything about it until 9 o'clock. Call us at 9 o'clock. Well, believe me, we all called at 9 o'clock and they were there about 5 after 9 and it shut down. But 9 hours we had to put up with that?
Yeah, and
But
I was-
I'll bet you if I turned my music on and somebody reported me, I'd be told about it.
Yeah, and I think I don't remember if it was specifically this address. I do think I recall reading an address where they responded and the music was turned down upon request.
Hmm.
Like I said, I'm
I
unsure if it
know,
was.
I understand,
was
I
this
understand your
one.
position.
But yeah, that's typically the response. You know, we try, especially a wedding, we don't want to,
But it's a
start by.
residential area. It is not a venue.
I understand.
But I think you have to understand, if they're hosting somebody else's wedding and charging for it, that is a venue, and that's something we could look at, because that's a business in a
Well-
residential area. If it's a family member, personally, my daughter got married and we had a reception at our house. I don't know that we could stop that. That's not anything different than a picnic.
Mhm. And that's
block
why I was
party.
asking if it was a business or was it?
But if they're kind of like bringing people in and charging,
Oh, you should have saw the streets. There had to be 60 cars double parked and parked up driveways. I mean, it was unbelievable. Nothing can be done. So we have to live with that. That's not what I moved to the rural area for 24 years ago. I put up with that being above Cumberland Gardens years ago. And if anybody knows what Cumberland Gardens is like, you know what I put up with. And I had to, because that was the city of Allentown and that was redevelopment. But when I moved out and I moved up here, it's rural, it's country, it's Upper Macungie, where people care.
you're finding out not everyone does.
Well,
It's sad.
I
but
hate to say it, you're gonna have phone calls up the gazoo because this is ridiculous. And the problem is, when one does it, then more are gonna do it, and we already found that. So you're telling us there's nothing we can do?
Other than police.
Yeah, right. If there's a concern, violation or anything like that, by all means, call. The officers will go out, investigate, and see what their course of action could or should be.
So they're allowed to do that music like they're doing it. And there's nothing we can do even with a noise ordinance.
The noise ordinance for excessive music is from 10 p.m. until 7 a.m. That's the time frame in which the subjective noise ordinance is in effect, and that's for the playing loud music comes into play. Otherwise, it would have to be a sound reader, and the police are not trained, nor do they have that equipment in their vehicles.
Okay. All right. And thanks. Also, I've got another question. In a residential area, Valley West, question. Is there businesses allowed to be in those residential areas? A business like hair cutting? People are coming in and driving out in different cars and all of that. Is that allowed?
I think that's, in some circumstances, it's a maybe. I think that's a question that, call the zoning officer, call the zoning department tomorrow
Gotcha.
morning. Ask specifically that question. If you have a specific address, you can make a zoning complaint for that and they can
Okay.
investigate it.
I will do that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. In the back. Yes, sir.
Hey, Butch.
This is for Ryan. That turn back thing, what about for no trucks, you were saying, if he gets that through? Now, what about farm trucks, those guys with their farm trucks?
Well, you mean if the full turn back was to go and
Right, 'cause
no
we
trucks?
have- We have 2 tractor trailers, we got our dumps, so does Keel.
Right. If it would be no trucks, it would probably be restricted down to the size of box trucks or less.
Well, we have tractor trailers too.
Understood.
They have farm plates on them. Because we usually come out of the fields and we come right down here to Nestle Way.
Right.
It's a lot easier for us, instead of turning there and going up past the winery.
Understood.
That was my question,
Right. I think trucks should be on Shantz Road, but
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, if it would go to that there, I'm looking out for us guys that farm the land.
understood. Yep.
There are sometimes there are local exceptions. For example, if no trucks and you're moving, a moving van can
Right.
certainly access those roads.
Yeah.
I'm not certain if a local delivery type language would be permissible on on that roadway or not, but
I'm not
there
so
can be
sure
some
the
exceptions.
farm plates wouldn't let them go on the roadway no matter what. Yeah.
See, because one of our tractor trailers has a commercial license on it because we use that to go out, like out to Hershey to deliver Nestle, where you got to sit 8 hours, sometimes 12 to unload. Because we have a guy that has his commercial driver's license, he takes some grain out for us. That was my concern.
And we'll, as we continue to think and ponder this issue, we'll put that in the mix as well.
Yeah, because Keel has, well, David and them have this over here at the winery. I have there at what they call the Wagner Farm, and then Keel has the township. Because we all have big trucks. So that was my main concern.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Perfect. Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to
I'll make a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
I will second it.
Motion to adjourn has been made at 8:29. It's been seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that passes. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Did you make the motion? Or?
I did.